because one of the kids had files in his house or something. I don't know what the reason was, but I know the kid that had the file. I knew one of the kids kept files and everything. So that's probably why they said that the kids ran it themselves, even though Larry King was the one that ran it. Him and one of his black buddies that was up there. And in fact, one of the other girls who right now is indisposed until probably June for anybody trying to talk to her because she's on parole and she doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
She
doesn't trust him, does she?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I told her she was going to talk to Roy before she got out on parole. And I said, well, I told my brother, I said, when you talk to her, because my brother's going with her parole, and I said, when you talk to her, tell her don't talk to Roy until she gets out of there. I says, because that'll be a sure way to get her parole denied. They'll make her jam it just like they did me. So I says, I says, not to put Roy down.
She one of these girls?
She was one of the girls that went up there all the time and stuff, and was involved with going to the parties and in Sioux City, and
were the parties between Omaha and Sioux City?
They had a lot of parties between Omaha and Sioux City. It's like we flew out of Sioux City to Washington, D.C. quite often with Larry King, and yeah, there was a lot of parties.
Did you have any parties down here in Lincoln?
A couple that were usually at the Hilton too.
Telephone? Just turn the phone.
Wow. Sounded like Jackie.
It's on. Okay, next. We're back.
Yeah, we were talking about anything in Lincoln went on. I just started talking about the Lincoln Hilton with Ellender and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, right. I asked you if anything in Lincoln.
So some things did happen in Lincoln, but not on a regular basis, and it wasn't very often.
Where did it take place?
Usually at the Lincoln Hilton.
And who would be involved?
Usually the stuff with Alan Barron. He'd pick up young guys from what was called the Boardwalk at the time with after hours and stuff.
You did that here in Lincoln?
It was here in Lincoln. I don't know if it's still. It still was at a gay bar and stuff, and there were like kids that would go in there like 14 and stuff, and they'd never even card them because they.
Never even what?
Card them.
Oh.
I mean, because they had a thing where if you drank, you had to have a stamp on your hand. If you didn't drink, then
They wouldn't even bother to card them?
Well, if you had a stamp on your hand, it meant that you were old enough to drink. If you didn't have the stamp, then they wouldn't give you a drink.
Yeah.
They'd give you a drink, whether or not.
And who else was with Alan Bear?
Well, usually when Alan Bear came down here, it was usually with himself or young guys. So it was usually on his own.
Okay.
But there's other guys that were from Lincoln that I don't know who they were, though. The next guy is also from Sioux City, Iowa, and I was with him 3 times. I was with both Tim and Mark Daniels, who we were talking about twice. And that was in 1882. And Jeremy.
What's his occupation, age, and all that?
Jeremy?
Yeah, the next guy from Sioux City.
He was in probably his late 20s. He was a teacher in Sioux City, Iowa. And he was involved with Larry King in 1984 and was with him 3 times. And that was dealing with the parties and stuff like that in Sioux City. Next guy I was with 5 or 10 times. He was a guy named Charles Rogers, who found out supposedly committed suicide or something, and sent him to cancer up and stuff.
What about his age and occupation or?
20s. I don't know what he did. All I know is that he was one of the King's lovers.
Black, white.
I think it was black.
So he was in Omaha.
Yeah. He was in 20s. So that's maybe 285. Next guy I was with 3 times. All I know is his first name was Mike, and he was a lifeguard, and he was from Sioux City, Iowa. and that was in '84 at the same parties I met the teacher. And they seemed to know each other quite well.
Who took you to Sioux City?
Larry King. His trips with him.
Driving?
Yeah. Next guy is Keith Jacobson. He was from somewhere out in somewhere in Nebraska. I know he was kind of like lived on a farm in a small town and stuff. And recently they had him in the paper and stuff. He got arrested for supposedly buying some child pornography, and they came up and said that he was framed and stuff. And he got all of his charges dropped and stuff. And I know the guy was a pedophile and like little kids and stuff. And he just said, well, I didn't even look at it. I didn't even have a chance to know what it was even about and stuff. Yet he filled out a survey saying that he was interested in young adolescents having, involved in sexual activity and stuff. And
Where did he fill his survey out?
it was a post office sting. It was a sting operation by the government.
Oh, I see. And then he got the material and they arrested him and they dropped the charges?
He ended up dropping the charges because they said it was a setup. He was set up, and the government was creating crime by having this thing where you could buy the stuff from them, and then they get you in the gun.
Why would they bother doing it and then drop the charges?
Well, no, they didn't bother doing all of it. They tried to charge him and stuff, but he had some big shot lawyers and stuff, partially involved with NAMBLA, partially involved with the gay movement all across the country and stuff, because he admitted he was gay. And
Where'd that take place?
right here in Nebraska.
Lincoln or Omaha?
More toward the Lincoln area, I think, than Omaha. It was some smaller town. I'm not sure exactly where it was at, though. It was in Keith Jacobson. He was,
How old was he?
Probably in his 30s at the time. Not bad for sure.
Did you tell me his occupation?
I'm not sure what his occupation was. I know he lived on a farm or something. So maybe he's a farmer. I don't know. It was from '84 to '86. The next guy was a guy named Harold Johnson. He was pretty involved in it.
Is that the camera on you? Did you check it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Harold Johnson.
he was involved with a lot of different people. I was with him for about 3 or 4 times. And he was involved with Bear, which Keith Jacobson knew Bear too, and they ran around together and stuff. Bear supplied him with some boys, and vice versa. He supplied him with some boys from a smaller town from where he was at.
Occupation?
I don't even know.
Age?
Probably 40s, 50s. Now he'd be about 60s now. Next guy, all I know is that his name was Pierce, and that he was at the Dallas convention with Larry King.
Pierce?
Yeah. I don't remember anything else about him. All I know is that we did something one time. And also, there was a guy named Johnson there that they were both involved with the GOP garbage. That's what it is for the Republican Party, GOP. I don't know what GOP stands for.
Yeah. I don't know. Republican. They were both involved with the...
They were both at the Dallas convention at the...
Yeah. How many times did they molest you?
Once.
Once each?
Yeah. They were in the same room at the same time. There's a couple of kids there. Just doing stuff. Next one is Barney Franks. I mentioned earlier.
I remember the name, yeah.
Senator or congressman, I'm not sure exactly what he was. I know he's a politician from Boston. Vestitious. He was involved with King and with NAMBLA. I met him in Washington, D.C. several times. I met him in Boston several times at different locations. So it was kind of in several different places.
Total?
About 15 times. 10, 15 times.
How old is he?
He's probably in his 50s then. So he's probably in his 60s, I don't know.
And do you remember if he was a congressman or a senator?
I think he was a congressman.